Hey everyone, hope you're doing well today. So, you might have heard about some big changes happening in the real estate world, and these new rules could really impact anyone who's looking to buy or sell a home. It's a bit of a shift, and today we're going to talk about exactly what these new rules mean, especially when it comes to real estate commissions. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, or maybe you've bought or sold a home before, this is something you'll definitely want to understand. It's not just about numbers and percentages. It's about making sure you're getting the best deal possible and not overpaying when you don't have to. So now, one thing that's changed is how much control buyers have over what they're paying their agents. In the past, sellers would often cover the commission for both their agent and the buyer's agent. It was kind of a standard practice, but not many people realized that it was negotiable. With these new rules, that expectation is gone. You might find yourself having to negotiate more directly with your agent, and in some cases, that could actually work out in your favor. So, let's walk through what this all means and how you can use it to your advantage. To start, one of the biggest shifts is that buyers will now have more say in how much they're paying their agent. This is great, right? It means you can shop around, interview agents, and find someone who's willing to work within your budget. But with that freedom comes a little more responsibility. You're going to need to do your research up front before you even start looking at homes. That means finding the right agent for you and negotiating their fee if the seller isn't covering it. And here's something a lot of people don't think about. When the buyer covers their agent's fee, it could actually lower the overall cost of the home. This is because sellers often add that commission into the listing price. So if you're paying it yourself, you might be looking at a lower sale price. That can also mean lower property taxes in some areas since those are sometimes based on the sale price. It's a small difference, but over time, that can add up. So then, what should you do if you're in the market for a home? Well, the first thing you'll want to do is make sure you're working with the right real estate agent. You don't have to go with the first person you talk to. In fact, it's usually better to interview a few different agents, ask about their experience, and most importantly, ask how they structure their fees. You want to find someone who's open and transparent about the costs and willing to negotiate. One thing you might notice is that newer agents could be more flexible when it comes to fees. That's not to say they're not good at their jobs, but they might be willing to offer a lower rate in exchange for building up their client base. On the flip side, more experienced agents might charge a bit more, but they also bring a lot of negotiating power to the table, which can be really helpful, especially in competitive markets. Now, once you've picked your agent, you'll have to sign a contract. This is new for a lot of people. Before, you might have just worked with an agent without much paperwork, but now, you'll need to sign an agreement before they start showing you homes. This contract will outline what your agent is responsible for and how much you're going to pay them. So, be sure to read it carefully. Make sure everything's in plain language and clear, especially when it comes to the commission and payment structure. If something doesn't make sense, ask questions. Don't just sign without fully understanding what you're agreeing to. And next, one thing you should definitely be aware of is the length of the contract. Depending on where you're buying, some agents will want you to sign on for a few months, while others might ask for up to a year, especially if you're looking at new construction. So, ask about that and make sure you're comfortable with the timeline. You don't want to get locked into an agreement that doesn't work for you. And it's also worth asking if there's any flexibility in case things don't go as planned. Some agents might agree to a cancellation fee if you decide to go a different route. So, with all this in mind, you might be wondering, how do you know if you've found the right agent? Well, you want someone who's not just knowledgeable, but also aligns with your goals. Ask them about the types of homes they typically work with and the price ranges they've handled. If you're looking at a condo, for example, make sure they have experience with those kinds of properties. The more aligned their experience is with what you're looking for, the smoother the process will be. Also, communication is key. You want an agent who's going to keep you updated and is available when you need them. That might sound obvious, but not all agents are great at staying in touch, especially when it comes to presenting offers or negotiating on your behalf. So, it's good to ask up front about how they prefer to communicate, whether it's through phone calls, texts, or emails, and what you can expect once you've made an offer. On top of that, remember to ask about any special clauses in the contract, like arbitration. Some contracts might require you to settle disputes through arbitration, which could limit your options if something goes wrong. It's worth double-checking that part to make sure you're comfortable with it. And finally, Keep in mind that while all of this might seem a bit overwhelming, these changes are designed to give buyers more control. The key is just being prepared. Do your homework, ask the right questions, and don't be afraid to negotiate. The more informed you are, the better your chances of finding the right agent and the right home without overpaying in the process. So, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, now's the time to really dig into how these new rules affect you. Hopefully, this has cleared up some of the confusion, and you feel more confident heading into the process. As always, feel free to leave any questions in the comments. I'm here to help. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on navigating the world of personal finance and real estate. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.